Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, all have gotten full funding from the Republican-controlled Congress, at least the House, with a lot of Republicans in the Senate. And it's just inexcusable. First up, though, is, in terms of topics for the week, is the big victory for President Trump. He was facing potential financial ruin and seizure of his assets initially over this bond issue that he had to pony up a certain amount of money, upwards reportedly of $1 billion, just to appeal the monstrous, illicit, political, arbitrary, capricious, anti-constitutional judgment against him by Judge Engoron at the behest of Letitia James up in New York. Two New York Democrat politicians, one elected to Attorney General, the other to a judgeship. And so finally on Monday, the appellate court, one of the appellate courts in New York, pared back the bond requirement from $464 million, which, as I say, would have probably required him, according to reports, to pony up $1 billion just to get the bond so he could appeal it, to $175 million, which is basically a made-up number, but much better and something that President Trump could do. And I commented initially on it the other day.
Everyone, breaking news, an appellate court just slashed that requirement that Trump come up with $464 million in order to appeal that absurd judgment by Judge Engoron, which was done at the behest of fellow Democrat politician Letitia James. Now Trump has to come up with $175 million, according to the court, while he appeals this absurd ruling. Now, there's still much more to be done up in New York. Source-backed prosecutor Alvin Bragg is still pursuing that sham prosecution against Trump. So there's so much to do to defend the rule of law and free and fair elections against this interference by the Democratic machine in New York, which of course is working, in my view, with the Biden regime here in D.C. Judicial Watch, of course, will continue to pursue these issues in court, FOIA requests, FOIA lawsuits, to get the truth about this abuse of Trump.
Well, as I note there, there's more in terms of abuse of Trump up in New York. Alvin Bragg got another Democrat-oriented judge to rush through this the next show trial. This one, a criminal trial, and it begins, of all days, on April 15th. So the abuse isn't ending. And as I said earlier, $175 million is abusive as well. It should be $0 for him in order to appeal this outrageous, unprecedented decision. What frustrates me, and I've said it once, and it's worth reminding you, because Congress will be back, I think well, maybe they won't be back next week. Well, anyway, you can still call your members of Congress. They have fully funded all of this. You know, Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, all have gotten full funding from the Republican-controlled Congress, at least the House, with a lot of Republicans in the Senate. And it's just inexcusable to me. And I think I would encourage you to share any views you have with your members of Congress about their failure to use the power of the purse and other authorities under the Constitution to rein in this lawless attempt to jail, harass, intimidate, violate the civil rights, the human rights of President Trump and other innocents. You can call Congress at 202-225-3121. That's 202-225-3121. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.